Hey there beloved, I'm Tanisha and welcome back to my channel. Guys, I'm just gonna go right into it. I don't believe I'll be long. Listen, but I've said this before and I'm long. Alright, so I'm just gonna go into this. So again, I was just reading, and a lot of time I'm reading, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna make small videos with these thoughts and so forth, but I'm not great at making small videos. I promise you. But here in this one, it's also something that these were all from last week. Like, all of these short video ideas was really from last week based on the scriptures that I was looking at last week. This week, scripture agenda, it's Ezekiel. Yeah, it's Ezekiel, and I'm gonna try and stick around with the minors for a while. But a couple years ago, I did say that too, don't it? And I never finish it. Me never finish it. Anyways, let's just go into this. Alright, so it's Matthew 26, and it's from verse 14 to 16. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto him, What will he give me, and I will deliver him into or unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he sought opportunity to betray him, and that's it. So here we have Judas Iscariot, and it's just to bring a level of awareness as to who we are as individual and how we love the persons in our life that we claim to love, and where our loyalty lies. Because listen, situations will cause persons to sell you out. Yes, hardship will cause people to sell you out, and none of these are just justifiable, like good reason for you to betray someone that you trust, or someone that placed their trust in you. But here it is that Judas Iscariot went to the chief priests and asked them, listen, Judas went to the chief priests and asked them, What will you give me? And I will deliver him into your hand. And they said, Listen, we'll give you 30 pieces of silver. And the Bible said, from that day, Judas Iscariot sought opportunity to betray Jesus. And what's also mind blowing here is that, you see, betrayal is not something that manifested in a day. Mm-mm. Betrayal is not manifested in a day. Just as though person just get up and hate you in an instant and kill you or sell you out. It's been there, it was lingering, and for whatever reason you become like literally no longer important. There is nothing more that persons can get from you. So it's time now for them to betray you, to discard you, to openly give you up. And I was just asking the Lord, I understood, like, there must have been a Judas Iscariot, because before Judas was conceived, this was in his destiny. And it's sad to say, but Judas, this was in his destiny. Someone will even say, even Pharaoh didn't have a chance. Pharaoh was to be that Pharaoh that was drowned in the Red Sea, because the Bible said that the Lord hardens Pharaoh's heart. And when I was reading with this with a friend some time ago, like probably this is even years ago, he was saying to me, we were having a discussion, and he was even saying to me, Pharaoh had no chance. Even today we will go in the sanctuary and we will hear the preacher or the speakers, and then they will say, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart. And then you have to wonder, who is it that's really the hindrance here? Is it me just not willing to accept Christ, or is it that my heart has been hardened in such a way where it's Christ who is causing me to be hard like Pharaoh and not submitting to his call? Because the Bible said, I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and then he will not let you go, repeatedly. And so some would say Pharaoh never had a chance, and no, Judas never had a chance, because this was their destiny. But still, I'm saying betrayal, these things doesn't really manifest in a day. They don't just come up in a day. Jesus was there doing his ministry, and he was healing the sick, he was raising the dead, he was opening the eyes of the blind. Jesus became noise. He was now famous. Persons bring sick from near and from far for Jesus to heal. His disciples was no popular. They were open. Perhaps even they receive some level of fame, and fortune from being connected to Jesus. And persons will look unto them and have respect unto them, perhaps even fear unto them, because of the power and the authority that they carried while walking with Jesus. But here it is that Judas must have thought to himself, there is nothing more I can gain from this Jesus. Like this Jesus, perhaps is not even operating, or perhaps this Jesus, is not doing what I perceive him to be, because they say Judas was a money lover. So perhaps, him giving himself the service is not what he expected. And now it is that he knew that, the rulers and everyone was really trying to get Jesus killed, to stone him. And here it is, perhaps he's saying to himself, you know what, Jesus, him reach him limit, him come to an end. And you know what, let me see what I can get. Let me see what I can get right now before he died. Because they would not be like I don't know, new thing for them now. Say, listen, they are trying to lay hand on him. But Judas must have said, there's nothing more I can gain from this Jesus. And even so, today, there are persons in your life that discard you, like persons that will walk away, walk out of your life, persons that you would sacrifice for, persons that, you perhaps would be there for them, but the moment you're no longer in a position for them to receive and gain, they literally give you up. The moment it looks like whatever possession or position you were in to give, you are about to not be in that place anymore, and so there's nothing they can receive. And so why not join the other side? Why not give you up? And I believe this was even what was going through Iscariot's mind, that there was nothing more he could gain from the Lord. So why not give him up? Why not see what I can literally get? And the Bible said from that moment he sought opportunity to betray Jesus. But here it is, he went to the priest, he went to the chief priest, he went to them and he asked them, he volunteered himself to be the one to betray Jesus. He volunteered himself to be that backbiter, to be that backstabber then. You know, he volunteered himself to be this one, and agreed, they covenanted, they agreed, you know, that listen, when we do this, when you get this done, you go get some money. And from that time he sought opportunity, like, you know, perhaps even where Jesus was going, you know, he had knowledge of their next movement, where they plan to go, and he sought opportunity to betray Jesus when is it convenient to take him, you know. So Jesus was Iscariot was looking for a perfect way to betray Jesus. Remember, many times they wouldn't take him in the crowd because they feared the people, because Jesus was doing good. The people praised him. He was feeding them, you know. He multiplied fish and bread for them. He preached to them. He healed their sick. He opened the blinds up, the blind eyes. He did miracles that persons was waiting on for years. You know, he did things within their midst that they could not but say, this must be the Messiah, this must be, you know, he's no ordinary prophet, he's a prophet. He's nothing like them that were before us. So they had a challenge to take him because of the belief of the people. Yet when they laid hand on him, he was alone. And you wonder, where were all those persons that received their sight? Where were all those persons? Where were they? But I won't go there right now. Iscariot sought opportunity to betray Jesus. Betrayal don't happen overnight. And I guess this is why persons remain bitter sometimes. Because you have persons that will come into your space, befriend you, and when persons come into your space, learn your secret and betray you, it's hurtful. When people come into your space, learn your business, learn your plan, and then try to obstruct it, it is hurtful. And that is why persons always say, you know, bitterness is something that, you know, unforgiveness is a real struggle because of how the betrayal happens. And here's this. Remember when Jesus was now at the supper doing the Passover thing, you know, and he said to his disciple, you know, go unto such man and tell them that, listen, we will eat there. And while they were eating there, Jesus said to them, listen, one of you will betray me. And they were all looking, and look at it, Jesus was even Iscariot was even there looking around. I wonder who, and he would have not seen him, because remember, him already went to them, covenanted with them, and is waiting for the perfect opportunity to betray Jesus. So Iscariot was there looking around, like, who is it? Who is it? And Jesus would say, listen, the one that dip in this cup right now, the one that will take heat is that will betray me. And when he did that, Jesus just said, listen, just do what you have to do. Just do what you have to do. And sometimes when we are at that place where persons really betray us, the only thing we can say is, you know, just do what you have to do. Just continue to do what you have to do. Because, you know, it's not the end of me. Perhaps you will hope for it to be the end of me. Perhaps you thought that, you know, as I said, there is nothing more I can add to you. There's nothing more you can gain from me. So do what you want to do. And you believe, say, listen, when you betray this person, when I talk about this person, when I left this place, when I go on with yourself, you know, it's gonna be it done. Like life end. after your betrayal. But it's not the case. It's not the case. Life doesn't end after you have been betrayed. It doesn't end after you have been betrayed. There is an entire lifespan left for you to rise above the odds, for you to give grace, for you to give forgiveness, for you to do something that those that betray you never thought was possible. And it even goes to show, did Judas really believe that he would rise from the dead? Did Judas even believe that he was indeed the Messiah? Or did he just thought that he was just another prophet, or just another prophet, or just another thing for the moment, and someone else will come up? Like seriously. But the Bible said he sought opportunity to betray him. And he was there knowing that he was the traitor, looking about. And when he left, he went. And he even betrayed Jesus with a kiss. The one that I would go to and greet, he is the one. He is the one. And this is just so heartbroken, really. If you have ever been betrayed by someone in your close circle, you know what I'm talking about. In church, we always hear people talk about church hurt, because I guess in this circle, in this place, this is the place where you least expected that there was going to be a betrayal. This is the place where you least expected persons wouldn't be able to understand. A person was going to support you. A person was going to build you up. But this is the place where you feel most broken because the expectation weren't met, because the persons that were there didn't fulfill your expectation, or the persons that were there wasn't able to support you. Instead, they in Christendom they strive against each other rather than to strive, and it's hard. But listen, it didn't end with Jesus when Judas Iscariot betrayed him, and it's not gonna end there for you either. Surely, listen, look at everything that Jesus ended up had to went through because of that kiss, because of that betrayal. He went to the cross. He endured agony and pain and was alone. He was beaten. He bled. He gave his life. This is some of the things that he went through. But still, he said, forgive them, because they know not what they do. Even so, when you are on your horizon, when you are rising, when you are like literally rising, in spite of what happened to you, in spite of how you were or have been betrayed, don't despise them. Be better than them. Don't despise those who have wronged you, those who have hurt you. Try to be above them. Live above them. Live above them. Like Jesus said, you know what? They didn't even know what they did. Because it was because of this betrayal, it was because of this hurt and this bitterness that I had to go even harder. It was because of this lie that I had to work even harder. It was because of this sabotage why I had to plan even harder, that I came up the way I did and succeeded the way I did. Betrayal doesn't happen overnight. This is what I'm saying. Betrayal doesn't happen overnight. And you and I have to examine ourselves, check ourselves daily to see the roots, the seeds that are planted in us. See what is planted in us, because one day works, we will find ourselves doing some works, and you think, oh, I don't even know where that come from. Listen, you have to be aware. Be aware, be very sober. Commune with your hearts upon your bed. You have to say this prayer: try me, O Lord. See if there's any wicked ways in me. We have to do these things. Nobody can do this thing for you, but you have to do it for yourself. So that when you see yourself behaving a certain way, you don't get to say, oh, I never did know, I don't even know why I did that. But you did do. But Judas did do. For whatever his reason was. It was more than just him had to be Judas. Something caused him, evokes him, moved him to did what he did. And even you and I, something will cause us to move, to do what we will do to those who we claim to love. And so we have to examine ourselves and ensure that we don't fall into this situation. So this is all I'll say in this video. God bless you. Be sober, be vigilant, know yourself, know your works, know what is hidden, know what is up here, and pray against it. Pray against it before it leads you astray. Jesus did say it. God did say to Cain, don't let your countenance fall. Fix your countenance. Do good. If you do good, I will accept your sacrifice. But don't let hate fool your heart. Because if you do that, then evil lies at the door. You have to take heed. I have to take heed. So that whatever works is manifested will be accepted of the Lord. Alright? That's it.